Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by my channel. I am Surge T, and in this video I will be talking about the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring premium live event. And let's just get to it. That PLE is on, and it emanates from Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. Now, my lord, these fools in Saudi are really getting annoying with these chants, as if they just want to chant whatever they feel instead of it making sense. Now, I know people have an issue with that when people complain. You know, dude, let these guys chant what they want. But do you guys ever just listen to how sometimes silly they sound when they chant, especially here in Saudi? I seen the faces of some of these people, and they're just doing it because it's cool. They do it, and then here's them when they do it. You know, as if they're like looking for, approval from somebody. Oh, look what I did! I made that chant. See, my thing is though is that I'm old school, and I remember when the chants made sense and they belonged to the person, or at least had a sense to chant, that to this individual, this particular wrestler. You can't be doing other chants for other wrestlers. You can't be doing a chant that has nothing to do with them. Maybe some make sense, but man, tonight, dude, it's just like, especially during the countdowns part of it, those guys behind Michael Cole and who that, Big E, Corey Graves, and Wade Barrett. You could see in their face that they were just doing it, and they had the mental Rolodex of all the chants that they could chant. The only thing they got right was when they were chanting for Big E, New Day rocks, and Big E was getting into it, and he's moving his shoulders and stuff like that. And then they're just chanting these other things, and then, oh yeah, of course, some of them were saying Michael Cole, like, something like that. They were chanting for him, but it's just like, a lot of them was just like, you could tell they were like, running something through their mental Rolodex. Okay, this one we can do next. Okay, this one we can do next. I may look like a psycho, pointing that out, but, it's like, I just come from that generation that just didn't chant because they felt like it. Meaning, you get along with the program and you chant the proper chant for somebody. I think Saudi was trying too hard to be like France, and they're not France. France did pretty well with me because at the end is when I started getting annoying. But these guys right off the bat just started annoying me. And if this turns you off and you don't like the fact that I speak my mind and complain about certain things, then just leave. Why are you gonna hang around with somebody you don't like hearing what they say? Because I want to be brutally honest. I've said that time and again. I'm like that at work, and I'm like that here on this channel. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't pussyfoot around the subject. What you see is what you get. If you don't like it, get the fuck out. Anyway, like I said, this is during the countdown show, which I am only watching because of Jade and Bianca defending their titles. And then remember Candice? She was beaten in the Queen of the Ring tournament by Bianca Belair, and then she had the nerve to call out Bianca on SmackDown. And then because of that, Jade got mad, went to Nick Aldis, and they got a title shot. Wow, all you got to do is piss people off, and you get a title shot. Well, that does sound par for the course, right? When it comes to any promotion, doesn't matter. It was not only WWE or AEW. I think that goes with wrestling all over, right? And then we see Paul Levesque, Triple H, of course. And this is what he said in a backstage interview. Talking about the King and Queen of the Ring, it's no longer going to be a title to just carry around. And we know what that alludes to. I mean, how the King of the Ring has always been as significant as the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Meaning absolutely nothing. Right? Why don't you do that with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Give him a shot at a title. Don't just give him that trophy. Yes, what it means is that it represents one of the greatest, figures one of the greatest wrestling personalities, greatest performers in that ring. Andre the Giant. Too many people got to see him in his waning years, and they forget. Look him up, folks. The dude was doing drop kicks. If I'm not mistaken, I saw him sitting on a top turnbuckle and jumps off and hit a drop kick. He did a lot of athletic shit back in the day. I believe the guy was a basketball player and all that stuff. I mean, don't just look at what he is. And I hate when people, every time they say Andre the Giant was 7'4", and then they have to always go, no, he wasn't. He was only 6'8". Well, once upon a time, he was 7'4". But then when he had gotten sick, and he started, the whole thing with the whatever that thing is, the name of that thing when giantism, when he just kept growing and his organs kept growing because of the growth hormone that kept producing in his was that the back of his neck or the back of his I forget where it is, but so he probably sloped a little bit, But why does that matter? The guy was a giant. The guy was huge. I mean, give me a break, seriously. And continuing with this things, now it means more than just a crown. Now the winner earns a world title shot on their particular brand. And that's a good thing. That's the thing, like I said in my SmackDown video, I said that this is what a lot of people, including myself, have been wanting. That the King of the Ring has its own pay-per-view again, which we're doing now. This is the first one under Triple H's regime. And they get a shot at the title. I don't think back in the day they did that. But I think that they were, given a push. And then it went towards a world title. But it wasn't specifically, I don't think, for the world, or WWE Championship at that time. Now, the first match on the PLE is for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Now, this wasn't part of the regular show, but they counted it as the first match. In total, there were 6 matches, including this. On the main show, it was 5. And we'll get to those matches once we get to it. Now, Indy and Candice come out first to challenge the champs, Jade and Bianca. And next is a storm that's here. And that is Jade Cargill, followed by her girl, Bianca Belair. And Indy, they started off in the Indies testing the strength of Cargill. Nope, wrong tactic there, Indy. Use that speed to your advantage. And Bianca tags in. Some sweet double team moves by the dynamic duo. There's great stuff here by the champs. And yes, the moment comes that the left knee of Belair gets exposed and exploited, and that's what the challengers need to focus their aggression on. But the mistake on the challenger's part was allowing Bianca to tag in the storm as Jade uses her power and dominant style to take Indy and Candice to a world of pain. But Candice performs a springboard moonsault on Jade as Indy holds Jade over the second rope. It was kind of sloppy, and no surprise as Cargill kicks out. I mean, if you're going to keep Cargill down, you better hit that thing solid. They didn't do that. And then there's a double team move that was too hard to explain at first. And then I watched it, especially with the double team. When they did the whole replay. And what it was that Jade was holding with Candice by the legs, and then or Candice or Indy, whoever it was. And then what happens is that she came, she came down. And then Bianca had her hit her with a DDT, and then when she popped up, Jade did a whole wheelbarrow thing, but then what's the thing what I'm trying to say? Damn it! She lifted up, and when she went back down, and then Bianca Belair kicked her up, right, and then she was able to perform a what do you call it? Suplex. And then Grace explained the final move of the double team sequence as an Ocean Cyclone Suplex. Pretty impressive overall, but my explanation wasn't. Sorry about that. Let's move on. Of course, they picked up the victory and the successful title defense for Cargill and Belair. Now, Liv is sick of coming up second best like before, but unlike then, this version of Liv may be what she needs to finally beat Becky Lynch. You know, in the Elimination Chamber, she finished second to Becky and finished second to Lynch as well in the Battle Royal last month for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. And I am surprised that Liv hasn't had a title match in 2 years, as it's brought up, but she was out with an injury, and Graves actually had the nerve to say that you can't just come back and be given a title opportunity like you had before. I'm like, hello, Graves, Charlotte Flair. That woman comes back and calls herself, the line, right? Like she's the one that's the line. It starts with her, and then she gets in front of it and immediately gets title shots without earning them. I think these guys really need to kind of look at their notes or maybe check them because they come off sounding stupid. He just explained what Charlotte Flair does. She comes back and expects a title shot right away. You know that's going to happen once she comes back. I don't know how far out she is now to coming back, but I'm pretty sure it's soon. I have to wait and see. And then Becky, she's like dressed like she's going to a black tie dinner, the way she dressed. I thought they saw her coming down the aisle. They showed her coming down the back, the back entrance or the back stage. And I thought that she was going to go to the ring and talk or something. It looked like she was dressed up. She's going to talk in the ring and then she's going to go back and thing, But I get the rules in Saudi, you know what I'm saying, that the women have to be covered up. But still, I mean, what was that outfit? Everybody else had gear on, and the thing about it though is that they all looked good. Becky looked good too, despite what she wore, But it's like last time, over the previous times that they've been there, the women have like oversized, bulky shirts, and then they wear like spandex or whatever it is they wore underneath. But now it's like they're wearing skin tight type of outfits and things like that fit them better, I'm not gonna knock their culture. I'm not gonna knock what they do, but I've always wondered, because I'm not used to that. Of course, here in America, we see them in their outfits, their regular wrestling gear. So when you see them like that in the Saudi shows, it kind of like throws you off a little bit. But whatever, that's what they got to do. Hey, if you're in their country, you got to do what they do. If they were here, we would hope that they did what we do. Well, I mean, But that's that. Now, anyway, this is a seesaw battle here, as Becky and Liv had been going back and forth, and the crowd are into it. And then Becky is exerting her will all over Morgan, taking the fight to Morgan outside and inside the ring. And as they are both on the top turnbuckle, Becky hits a missile dropkick, flooring the challenger. Now, Liv is able to reverse an attempted disarmer into a pin attempt, but Lynch kicks out at 2. And the crowd is heard booing Becky as she ascends the top turnbuckle and jumps in the air. But, she jumps into the air, tries to, hit whatever she wanted to hit. But then she ends up rolling through and then cheering Liv as she gives the champ a dose of her own medicine by connecting with a missile drop kick of her own. That is the thing that I noticed about this, is that they were booing Becky. And then Liv, who's leaning towards being a heel, being cheered. This isn't Bizarro where like Canada is, where they'll do that. So I think just people just love her more. Maybe they're sick of seeing Becky always as the champion. And then let's continue. As the man cinches in the disarmer, Dom's out there. Earlier he talked to Liv Morgan and said that he's not going to allow her to win Mommy's title. And then Dom is distracting her. Is that, you call that the dumb babyface syndrome, right? I've heard that said before. And it's like she got distracted where she could just wrestle and just stop looking at Dom because he has nothing to do with the match. And then when she turns around, she's hit by a code breaker for a near fall. Dom is on the ring, and I think what happened was that when Becky Lynch had the upper hand, that dummy was still standing on the apron and not getting off the apron. So Liv was able to take advantage, and then she hits the what do you call it? What do you call it? Let's say. No. I'm kind of moving forward because Dom throws a chair in the ring, and then Liv hits a DDT on the chair and then follows it up with Oblivion, despite Dom's efforts to keep Liv from the title. And this sets up a future match and a final blow off to their feud, as Liv and Rhea will go head to head if Liv is still the champ when Ripley returns. That's the thing that kills me about Dom, where he's like going, I don't want you taking her title, but I'm just thinking, if she gets the title, wouldn't that be a better way for Rhea and her to do their feud or their blow off feud? Probably going to be that. Didn't have the title on the line. What was the point of you trying to keep her from the title? I guess this is because that's Mommy's title, and of course Liv is talking about how she wants to take everything away that was once Rhea Ripley's. So I guess that's why Dom was doing that, but it's like I just don't understand that. Like, regardless, she's gonna get Liv, and why wouldn't it be better if Liv had the title so that she could take that from her? Kind of like, you took it from me, I'm gonna take it from you, kind of thing. But we see the opening match on the regular part of the PLE. And the Saudi crowd rained "You suck" chants on Chad Gable. Well, he is regarded as the heir apparent to Kurt Angle, so why not, right? And then Gable tells Otis pretty much that to do what he needs to do when it's time. What does that mean? We'll see that later in this match. And Mike Rome is very unpleasant to the ears. Where is Samantha Irvin? Even the other girl. Where's her? Where's she at? Right? No. Anyway. And Sami, he has this Jeddah crowd behind him. They love him. Who doesn't love him? He's great. One spot in the match is a sunset flip powerbomb off the top turnbuckle by Zayn, and man, is Sami deceptively strong or just good leverage for a near fall. And then another impressive one is Bronson Reed doing a moonsault off the top turnbuckle. I mean, no one ever accused Reed as just being a big monster who isn't agile. Now, Gable locks in the ankle lock first on Sami, then on Reed before Sami does the same on Gable, and Sami delivers a blue thunder bomb on Reed for a near fall. I don't believe that, man. Like, Sami is unbelievable. That thing was like, you can tell, that Bronson Reed, when these guys, went over this match and stuff like that, Bronson Reed helped. I'm pretty sure he lifted himself up, he jumped up so that Sami can get that on him. Because that's the trick, guys. You know what I'm saying? Sami ain't gonna deadlift, Bronson Reed, but still pulling that off, it's amazing. And man, Reed shows his amazing athleticism by sailing through the second rope and taking out his opponents like a runaway Mack truck. Reed misses the tsunami. Zayn goes for a haluva kick, but Gable delivers a couple Germans. So does Zayn, but Reed goes around both men and delivers a massive German suplex. 512 pounds of Zayn and Reed that he did that to. And then Otis, when it came time, but Otis won't pull the trigger and hit Zayn. But he finally does and clotheslines Gable inadvertently, and Zayn takes the opportunity to connect with the haluva kick and pins Bronson Reed to defend successfully his Intercontinental Championship. I mean, he got slapped again, Otis. Still took it. Didn't turn on Gable and make the crowd go batshit crazy and happy for him and cheering and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So that continues. I guess they're just waiting to kind of balance it out. Maybe see whether weigh the situation. Are we going to allow these guys to get into a who gives a shit feud? We like both of these guys, Gable, as much as he's a heel, but the guy's talented in the ring. And then Otis, Otis is Otis. Lovable, very, very good in the ring, fun to watch. But do we want to see them in a feud? Maybe a short one, because we don't want to dwell on that. I know. Now, Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyria in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. Lyra comes in, is in a Raven outfit, wings and all. Man, she looked great, and the crowd are behind her. That's what I love about her and her ever since making it to the main roster, being drafted, is that she has had the crowd behind her. It's like, it's one of those things where like it's going to either work for a person or not. And they were behind her. And regardless of the outcome of this, she's going to be pushed. And she's going to be a champion. You know, not now, in the near future. She's going to be a champion on the main roster. It's only a matter of time. And Lyra looks to keep Nia off balance, she needs to do, but Jax keeps Valkyria in check. So far, it's about their individual strengths coming into play, but it seems both opponents know how to counter one another thus far. But Nia realizes she has to be her. Be yourself and be a bulldozer and overpower Lyra. Don't get fancy. One of the commentators said that. Don't get too fancy, Lyra. Nia, just be yourself. But Lyra fights back, but Jax just powers her down and out. But man, Lyra goes with her strikes, but Jax catches Valkyria and delivers a Samoan drop and only gets a near fall. Nia says it's over, and as she drags her opponent to the corner to hit the Annihilator, but Lyra pulls herself out of the outside apron, and Jax positions herself outside of the ring ropes, and she looks to connect with it on the apron, and she lands hard. At least she didn't say my hole. That was embarrassing when she did that. Remember that? It was all over Botchamania. And then we see Lyra soar through the second rope with a drop kick to the back of Jax. She tries it a second time and is caught by Nia, but Lyra reverses Jax and delivers a bulldog. Inside the ring, Lyra hits a missile drop kick off the top turnbuckle and delivers a tornado DDT, but Jax only gets a near fall with an emphatic DDT. But Lyra seems to tweak her knee. Boy, that was the what do you call that? That was the subject, or what do you would call that? That was like the focus of the storyline with this tournament. Knees getting hurt. You know, there's always the left knee too. What's gonna happen next? The next major thing is gonna be the right knee. I mean, couldn't you switch that up and have Orton have the right knee whereas Bianca had the left knee, you know? But Jax hits a small drop and immediately pulls Lyra to the corner. She's not messing around. But Lyra kicks Jax's leg out from under her, and as Nia hangs in the tree of woe, Lyra gets a head of steam and delivers a double stomp, only to get a near fall. Then Lyra connects with a drop to the back of Nia's head, a leg drop to the back of Nia's head, and goes for the pin, but no go as Nia kicks out again. But Lyra tries for the Nightwing, but no dice. And try as she might to powerbomb Jax, but Nia falls into the Annihilator. It's like when she did that, Nia just sat out, bam, hit it, and gets Valkyria. Well, she hits Valkyria, and then Nia Jax is your pins. She falls into the Annihilator, and then she pins Lyra Valkyria, and Nia Jax is your new Queen of the Ring. All hail the Queen of the Ring, as the King of Kings presents her the Queen's crown. And I gotta say, a lot of people want to keep dwelling on Nia's past and everything, and that she's reckless and all that stuff. I have not seen that once since she's come back. Y'all need to stop dwelling on the past of this lady here. She's worked her ass off. She's doing really well. And as much as I wanted to see Lyra win because she is my favorite right now. Well, she's been my favorite since NXT UK about a couple of years ago. You know, it's just that she was gone for a while before they brought her back, and then she went to NXT, and you know the story of her journey. But Nia, I'd say she deserved this. This is an accolade that she definitely can add to her, to her just a Hall of Fame worthy career. I think so. I may make people's necks turn. What? But she's won everything. She's done everything, practically everything. She hasn't won a Money in the Bank, right, or a Royal Rumble, but that may come in due time. But on her resume, just look good. There's a Queen of the Ring, and she actually won the one that mattered, where it's gonna move towards a world title match. Well, she's gonna get a WWE Women's title match. I thought she was gonna go against Becky, but I forget that she is on SmackDown, so she's gonna be going for Bayley. If Bayley's still the champion by SummerSlam. Now, Kayla Braxton comes out and is shut up quick by Jax. She's gonna do that post interview. That's Kayla Braxton's gig. I don't mind seeing her. Love seeing her. She's great. And Jax says that she will become more angrier. She said, well, no, she said we will become more angry as she becomes more happier as she becomes the WWE champion and your queen at SummerSlam. Then you can hear her utter the words. You can't hear her, but you see her mouthing the words, bow down. She did say WWE champion. I believe she meant WWE Women's Champion. I mean, could she be somebody that challenges and wins the WWE Championship? I don't think so. Would she be somebody that will challenge somebody? I don't know. WWE doesn't do that. They almost did that with China, and they decided not to pull the trigger on that. But she would have been the first person to win. She won that Battle Royal, right? Remember? And she was the number one contender for the WWE Women's Championship. WWE Championship back in the day. Now, Becky's backstage, and backstage interviewer is trying to stop her for a comment. Becky's livid about losing her title. What was Dom doing out there? What was all that nonsense? What was all that distraction out there? And then she talks about how it lets Liv know that she has a rematch clause, and at Raw, she will get her rematch. So we're looking at the first match that's going to be on that Raw after King and Queen of the Ring PLE. So it's looking good already. Now, 870 days as NXT UK champion, plus 666 days as the IC champ, Intercontinental champion, for a total of 1,500 plus days combined as champion. The odds-on favorite to win tonight and be crowned the King General, as Cole puts it, Gunther. Quite a long reign when he was the NXT UK champion. I know it was 800 plus days. I kind of forgot because I didn't look back at the members I knew back in the day, but kind of forgotten. And it was brought up again, and then combined, it's more than 1,500 days as combined as champion. Pretty impressive. Here we go. It's Sing Along with Orton's theme, and it's getting old already. Fuck you if you disagree, because like I said, a time and a place. You don't do it because it's cool. I can see that these people, much like France, only do it because it's the flavor of the month. Let's do it because everybody is doing it. Really? And at the onset, both men are sizing each other up. And Olay chants are starting up. Is Sami Zayn in this match? You see? That is what I'm referring to. Let's chant because it's cool, not because it fits a certain superstar. If these dopes want to chant something, how about Randy's gonna kill you? I mean, yeah, it's Samoa Joe's thing, but Samoa Joe ain't there. At least that's because it's something that can describe what Orton is capable of. Even though that would get old too, but it's like, do these sheep understand that the Ole chant is used to pump up Zayn or show support for him? It's like, it's just like in AEW, Will Ospreay. And these idiots over there go, Ospreay. They go, Ospreay, 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 Ospreay. And I go, you guys really that desperate to make that thing fit with Ospreay's thing? That's the reason why, and I love, Will Ospreay. I didn't like him at first, but I've become a fan of his. Love watching his matches, but sometimes I gotta fast forward. Sometimes, especially when they start doing that stuff, and I'll click the thing, goes ahead about 10 seconds, and then they stop doing it. But it's just like enough, you know what I mean? It's so annoying. Like, it doesn't sound cool. You sound like you're just trying to shoehorn his name into the Olay chant, and what is that, And it has nothing to do with these two. And y'all can disagree with me all you want, and I will fast forward this match to the end if it keeps up. It's so fucking annoying. That didn't happen. And then I noticed something else. Oh, and the Fireflies are out. Now, is Jey Uso here tonight? I mean, he got permission and he got the blessing from JoJo, the fiance or wife of, I believe it's the fiance of Bray Wyatt. I'm thinking, are they paying homage to Wyatt? But hey, these fools chant Randy's name. Oh, it was RKO, and then they fall back to the Olay chants. And why am I focusing or talking about the sheep and Jeddah and not the match? It's a shame. And in the commentary, there was Cole that says that the crowd is electric, because I know they're not. They are sheep who are trying to copy France. France did it. Oh, let's do it. France, to me, was natural when they did it. They weren't imitating someone else. They weren't trying to be someone else. They were being themselves. Jeddah just came off, and hey, these guys in Saudi Arabia may be doing it for themselves. They were just doing it because they were feeling it, right? But it's like it didn't come off that way. It didn't. Nitpicky. I'm too nitpicky. Well, I'm not going to just see something that I don't agree with and not bring it up. Remember, I'm brutally honest, folks. And on mute. At one point, I had to watch it on mute due to the insufferable crowd and their inane chants. Their chants were really inane. But the match, it's very physical. And Orton stops a chop, but after delivering an uppercut, Gunther decides to deliver one himself, and he stuns the Viper. Now the crowd has calmed their asses down. I turned the volume back up, and I can enjoy the match. And then Gunther's on the attack and targets the left knee. He saw blood like a shark and attacks. And this crowd took me out. And all I can say is your new King of the Ring is the Ring General, the King General, Gunther. Now, I'll go back to the match. Now, during the match, Randy at one point hit the RKO out of nowhere. But Gunther rolls out of the ring. He isn't the Ring General because it's just a cool name for him. He's a smart guy. He knows what to do. You get hit with a move like that, you're close enough to the ropes, get the fuck out of there. It was a good match from what I saw as I tried to drown out this damn crowd. And then another RKO saw Gunther kick out and roll up Orton as Orton was grabbing at his left knee, and Gunther took advantage and is your King of the Ring. The thing about it though is that when Orton hit the RKO, went for the pin, right? Gunther kicks out. Orton couldn't leverage his left knee in order to really, pull that leg back so that, Gunther wouldn't kick out. And then Gunther was able to kind of like, what's that, crucifix, kind of pin him, kind of had both arms trapped, pulled him over. Randy Orton's, I believe his left shoulder was up. And they didn't say nothing about it. I don't know if that's going to be an issue, or they're just going to be like, maybe they just figured, you know what, Randy Orton's supposed to be pinned. There's not supposed to be no controversial, end or to it or anything like that. Not a fuck finish or anything like that. So they want Gunther to be the King of the Ring, and there he is. Out came Triple H, gave him his crown. He didn't not like when Nia took a knee, and then and Triple H put the crown on her head. He just handed it to Gunther, and then Gunther held it in the air. Pyro goes off behind him, and I'm glad that he won. I picked him to win. When it came to Nia Jax and Lyra Valkyria, there was still, it was still in the air. I wanted her to win. I never said she was going to win. I may have, but back in my mind, I'm thinking, they're going to probably give it to Nia Jax, because Lyra is new. She's young. She'll have her moment. She may win it next year. She may go through the competition again and then finally win. But it's probably going to be a thing where it's going to have to matter. It's going to have to like, it would have been great because she has a history with Becky. If Becky's not the champion anymore, maybe that's the reason. If Becky retained the title, maybe Lyra's going to win. Because then they can have that whole mentor-student type thing, and fellow, what do you call it, Irish lasses there that are going to, compete. But, when something happens, like, I don't know. I don't know if Becky has ever, no Becky, if Nia's ever faced Bailey. They may have, but for a title, I'm not sure. But that'll be an interesting match. It'll be a match that, yeah, sure. But we'll see what happens, and I don't know if Bailey has a title match coming up or anything like that that may put her reign in danger. I don't know. But let's move on. Breaking news by Paul Levesque. He's backstage. Kayla Braxton made mention of that by Paul Levesque. He has breaking news. And Paul says that Triple H says that Drew McIntyre has been medically cleared. And that the World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest will defend his World Heavyweight Championship at Clash at the Castle in Glasgow, Scotland. That's going to be a great match. And, Clash at the Castle, deja vu. Remember, Drew took on Roman Reigns. That's when we saw Solo Sikoa make his debut, right? And cost the Scottish Psychopath the WWE title, the undisputed Universal title actually at that time. Will there be some shenanigans this time? He has to deal with the Judgment Day. It might be. But I hope he wins. He deserves a long reign. Didn't get one when he won the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. Remember, 5 minutes, 47 seconds. Then, we have this unfunny comic. And he's used as the special guest ring announcer. He was there last year for one of their Saudi events. And he was doing some type of shtick in the ring with one of the WWE superstars. And I couldn't remember his name to save my life. And I immediately when I saw that, oh, he's back again, I said, whatever segment he's in, I'm going to skip his ass, or I'm going to... And he was in the ring and doing the whole, in this corner, oh, it's this guy. And then in this corner, announcing the champion, announcing the challenger, or announcing the challenger as champion, whatever order it goes. And I was just thinking to myself, I don't believe I did this. I go, I'd rather hear Mike Rome. And I don't even want to hear him. That's the reason why that he got moved to NXT and not on the main roster. But for some reason, he's been on the main roster, and Alicia, I believe that's her first name, where is she at? Maybe she had an emergency, maybe she's sick, maybe she had to take a vacation or whatever, or take some time off, I don't know. I'd rather hear her. Now, why did he ring announce, you know what I mean, the guy? He has an awful voice for it. And then the Ole chants are heard again. So not only is their crowd cheap, annoying, and redundant, but they are even original. I guess that chant is their go-to whenever they can't remember another one. I mean, you can see in some of their faces, they're like looking at each other. You can even see the what do you call that? The gears moving. You can practically see it. You can tell that they're trying to come up with one. Oh, let's do this, let's do that. That's what I'm talking about. You don't chant based on what comes into your head. Okay, let's chant this, let's chant that. If something happens in the ring, let's chant this. If something happens, somebody comes out, we chant this. Not something that it's just because it looked like, seriously, especially on the Countdown show, it looked like they were playing something. You know when you have your iTunes, right, or your Amazon Music, and you put it on shuffle. You shuffle the songs. It was like that. Let's put it on shuffle, and whatever comes out comes up next, instead of just making it, And I could say that and beat that damn dead horse into the ground. I've already said it. What I feel about that. It's just like it's ridiculous. You don't agree? I'm sorry. You don't agree. Now, so Cody wants no controversy around his title defenses, his wins, because as it was mentioned by Michael Cole, Roman's title defenses were all controversial. So his 3.5-year reign was really a shit reign, never legit, never without outside interference. So his reign should have an asterisk next to it. I can't remember. Maybe there was one time that he pinned somebody clean, but most of the time it was all that. That's why people started getting sick of his 3.5-year reign. Cody comes along and he relieves us of that redundancy. And then his cronies get involved. And one of the guys gives Logan brass knuckles. And the thing about it, though, is that he promised he wasn't going to use them, right? And then, as he has the brass knuckles, he gets into it with Michael Cole. And then Graves stops the Maverick and assures him he'll handle it. Telling him, I'll talk to Cole. Just, don't do anything harsh. Or maybe you don't do anything to Cole. I don't know, what was he saying? But later on, he did say that he was trying to come to his aid and everything like that. I don't want to have to protect you again. That's what he said to Michael Cole. Now, we see an attempted, at one point in the match, a vertebreaker by Rhodes. I haven't heard that name of that move in a long ass time. Corey Graves is really good at naming these moves. Not naming them himself, but really, really knowing what the name is, and he's very, very intelligent when it comes to that stuff. You hear stuff like vertebreaker. I saw that, and when he said vertebreaker, oh, that's right, that's the name of that move. I haven't heard that in a long time, and I haven't seen that move in a while. I may have, but I forgot it was, vertebreaker. That's the name of it. And he's the only one that first time that somebody, because people put their own spin on it, their name that they want to name a move, instead of it being vertebreaker. I haven't heard that in a long time. And then it's reversed by Logan Paul into a crossroads, but he gets a near fall. Now outside on the announce desk, Cody connects with a Cody cutter, and then Cody stops the 10 count as, he's laid out, is Logan Paul. And he doesn't want to, he does that because he just doesn't want to win it that way. No controversy. And then one lucky punch by Paul drops the champ outside, and then he goes for a frog splash on Rhodes, driving him through the announce desk. Well, the Arab announce desk. And he does the same inside, and Cody kicks out. But in the end, Cody hits 3 consecutive crossroads. He gets the victory and successfully defends his WWE Championship. What did I think of this pay-per-view? This PLE, excuse me. I don't know. Pretty indifferent. Not bad. Not good. Not mind-blowing. Backlash was amazing. This one, it's just like it just laid there. Okay. Good matches. Right. Setting up for the Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan rematch, right? A new champion in Liv Morgan. Nia Jax shocks everyone by winning the Queen of the Ring tournament, the finals. How many people had Lyra Valkyria, right, as their winner, as their queen? I did. Didn't happen. And then there's a moment that Gunther looked like he was going to fall to the RKO, but then go through wins. Kind of a, it's almost like with the whole thing with when Becky Lynch pinned Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 35, and Rousey's shoulders were up. And they're thinking, was that supposed to be it, or was that a controversy thing that that wasn't supposed to happen? I mean, I think Becky Lynch, I believe when she had that interview with, I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Chris Van Vliet, but she said that no, it wasn't. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to go. Yeah, that Like I said, Cody Rhodes successfully defends his title, of course. Logan Paul ain't gonna win it. Why would he? Sami Zayn retains in his hometown. Or you can say people that love him. So this is almost like his adopted homeland, right? Saudi Arabia. You see the champs, the tag champs retain, the women's tag champs. Yeah. Like I said, it just laid there. It was just there. And it's weird because there's a lot of things that happen, right? But to me, it was just there. That's a weird way for me to explain it, but it was just there. Like how is that possible, Right? Even though to me the matches were good. They were. Maybe I just got taken out by the crowd. Trying to be France. Trying to chant. And like I said, man, I don't, to quote the great William Regal, besmirch you guys for doing that, for wanting to do that, and thinking I'm an asshole because why are you nitpicking that? They can chant whatever they want. My thing is that yes, you can, but the thing about it is it needs to make sense. If you guys don't understand what I mean by that, you'll never understand. I've already explained myself what I mean by that. You have common sense. You can know that when something is chanted and it has nothing to do with the performer, or it's just, you can see that these guys are just chanting. Look at these guys' face and look at their eyes. It's like they'll say something, you look at each other like, oh, see, we were able to say that. Instead of just naturally chanting, people start chanting and then everybody gets into it. Everybody spreads it around and it goes all over the damn thing. Instead of just like a bunch of like section of a thing just want to just be different. Yeah, I may sound, to you guys like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I know what I hear. I don't agree with it. I just don't. That's what I don't like about this the crowd nowadays. Like I said in my mind, when you're there, yes, to get into it, it's fun and all that stuff. But hearing it at home, I know I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one that thinks that way. Is that these guys are just chanting just to chant. You can chant whatever you want, but don't sit there chanting because you want to chant. You know what I mean? Don't just chant for the sake of chanting. I want to say this chant. I want to say this chant. You see what I'm thinking? It's like random chants that it's like like I said earlier, iTunes or their Amazon music on shuffle, and whatever comes out instead of it fitting. You imagine if you watch your favorite TV show and then all of a sudden a different show's theme comes on and someone say, well, I think it's cool. I'm going to play this for this show. Doesn't make sense. It's like this. Same thing. But if you don't get me, and you won't get me. What can I say? What can I tell you? I can't really tell you anything if you don't understand what I'm talking about. And you don't need to. I don't expect you to if you can. If some of you understand me, okay, fine. But it's just, nonsense when you hear that. And you're just thinking, what am I listening to? Why is that these guys think that because France did it, we're going to outdo them? And I think bled over from Backlash and bled over into whatever that city was that the WWE went to next in America. And they were trying to do the same thing. And, sometimes it's just better just to leave it there because it worked there. France is boisterous. They're known for that. Same thing with Canada too. They're known for that. And they do it naturally. It comes out sounding naturally. And then when you hear some other places, then they're just doing it because, oh, we want to be cool like them. Instead of like doing it because it makes sense. Not because you're playing chants on random in your mind and then, oh, let's do this one next. Let's do it. You see what I mean when I say that? They're just doing it because it's the one that they want to do. Not that it's something that sounds right or it fits or it's something that, you know, can somewhat fit in that scenario. Instead of, like I said, random. Let's do this chant, let's do that chant, let's do this one, let's do that one. And then they're looking at each other like, see, look at that, aren't we cool? Like I swear, I saw like 3 or 4 or 5 guys there, and that's the look on their face. And I'm just thinking, you motherfuckers. Like, you're the problem, right? And it's infectious and catchy, and everybody does it, you know. I know I sound like a psycho, whatever. But like I said, I watched it. You know, good matches, moving storylines along, starting journeys for people who won the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring. They're going to be getting a title shot at SummerSlam. We'll see how that fits, how it goes, I should say. Nia's going to become champion in the future at SummerSlam. Is Gunther going to be the World Heavyweight Champion? Who is going to be the one he faces? Will it be Drew McIntyre? Or Damian Priest? But we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, that's my video. Before I end this, if I haven't pissed off people enough or made people go away, if you're still here and you're still at this point in my video, I appreciate it. And all I ask is if you wish, please click like, share, comment, subscribe. I appreciate it. And also click the bell icon. You get notified when I upload. But, well, anyways, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you for your support. And thank you for being patient with me. And understanding, I hope you do, that this is how I am. I don't sugarcoat anything, and I don't pussyfoot around the subject. You're going to get me. And if, like I said, if you don't like that, you can go. That's fine. Find someone else that you enjoy, that you agree with. That's going to agree with everything you want. When it's good to have differing opinions because that makes the conversation interesting. Why would you want someone just to agree with everything that you believe in, you know? And then you can go, okay, why don't you believe in that? And then you guys can come to an understanding, right? Isn't that how it is? Anyway, that's my video. So, again, thank you. And until next time, take care. And I will see you in my next video.